In my last video, I said this. I could probably find some worse episodes to make videos on. I might do that later depending on how good this video does. And that video did do really well. So if you watched it, thank you. And if you didn't, he's on the way. But here I am fulfilling my promise with 2 more hot, steamy episodes for us to talk about. It was brought to my attention that not everybody knows what Storage Wars is, so to make my video more accessible, I should explain what the show is. And so to do that, there is a perfect synopsis commented under my last video about Storage Wars. So Charles B9496 says, who gets the box, what's in the box, and how much is what's in the box worth? Storage Wars. So I feel like that's perfect, so we'll go with that. One other thing I learned while doing research for this video is that Dave, the poster child for the show, basically got fired at one point. Initially, I couldn't believe it, but it turns out he confronted the producers about the show being staged and fake, and they fired him. And because of that, he filed a wrongful termination lawsuit and technically won because the studio gave him an undisclosed amount of money. I find that kind of funny to be mad about because I assumed everyone knew the show was staged, but I guess not. But after firing him and being sued, the studio let him back on the show. What? That's insane. That's like your best friend stealing from you, and then like a year later you still invite him out to Thanksgiving. No, dude. Like, what are you doing? Now, clear warning, the very first frame of this episode seemed very familiar to me, but that's because I watched an Andy King video where he talks about the same episode. I want everyone to know I'm not biting off of him. I love Andy King. He's super hilarious. He's the only reason why I stand up in my videos, because I saw him do it. I thought that was cool. But I genuinely don't even remember watching that video, and I'm not stealing from him. I'm stealing from this article I found after I Googled 10 worst Storage Wars episodes. After watching the episode and watching his video, I decided I still wanted to talk about the episode because I can. Sorry. One embarrassing thing, though, is that I clicked on a random spot of the video and he made a joke that I had wrote down and planned on making, which is kind of, not good for me.
Old school Daryl. I'm even sticking with the tank top.
Oh, damn, he's got the tank top, baby!
Look, I don't think I've ever seen him not in a tank top.
Shame on you, Andy King. How could you so shamelessly steal my joke 2 years before I wrote it down? Anyways, just wanted to clear that before I got into the episode. And this episode is in season 5, so unfortunately Barry is no longer on the show. No! That's okay though, because they replaced him with Ivy. I like Ivy, he's chill. He's not as good as Barry. Barry holds a very special place in my heart, but he's serviceable. At this point in the show, they stopped giving people nicknames like I mentioned in the last video, but I'm still gonna do it because I can. So his nickname will be Token. Look around at the rest of the people on the show and you'll connect dots. Part of the episode opens up with Dave. I didn't mention this earlier, but this is his first episode back. That's what the article that I read said. So this is his first episode back. And of course, his first line has to be a hit. It has to be a banger.
I know Laura's not gonna throw me out today because I bring money and I have money. Don't get me.
Yeah, man, sure. You just said the same thing twice. That's kind of how money works. When you have it, you have it. So let's just get into the lockers. Yeah. There's nothing of note in the first locker. But after winning it, Daryl does his signature move. And obviously, I hate it. But in the next locker, there's dog collars. And he goes, hey, Dave, I found necklaces for you. Immediately after doing your famous sex joke, you talk about putting Dave in a dog collar. This is just fanning my flames of the theory that Daryl is in love with Dave. Daryl, I know you're a freak. Ivy buys this unit, and since he's new to us, he's not new to the show at this point, but he's new to us. So since he's being introduced to us, he has to really try his best to win us over.
Right here, phone chargers, earbuds, pepper, everything brand new. It's got to be another $100 in there, at least another 100 bags. At $15 is at least $1,500. Plus a washer and dryer, $300. Another $1,000 worth of bags and boxes on this side. I don't have to do anything but dust it off and sell it.
Ivy, I'm gonna say this as nice as I can. Get the fuck out of my face immediately. But you cannot tell me you just made what is essentially $3,000 off of what is a literal pile of garbage. Eat shit.
Tell me something good about this unit, Daryl. I gotta stay happy today.
This is definitely a locker for Dave because I would like to give him the shaft.
Okay, that's a big one, too.
Okay, so my theory of Daryl and Dave being in love is no longer a theory, but a fact. Someone write Yowie of that immediately. Also, look how Laura Dotson reacts to the thought of them piping. Somebody write her in the Yowie as like the ice cream cone from The Amazing World of Gumball. You know how like she really wanted them to get together. So somebody work on that immediately and email it to me. Thank you. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a Storage Wars video without knowing the inside machinations of Jared and Brandy's schemes.
What do you see in there that has any redeeming qualities?
That unit sucks, but it's less sucky than the last
Tell
one.
me one thing in there that we can sell. What's in there? One thing.
Nothing.
One thing.
There's not one thing.
So Jared agrees there's nothing to buy in this locker. Yeah, it's dog. We heard him verbally say that. But here he is bidding. Why, dude? Do you just hate your wife? Now, of course, Dave wins this locker. It's his first locker won since he first returned to the show. So, you know, he's got to hit an epic monologue as basically the unofficial main character of Storage Wars.
I've almost doubled my money while Jared's going home thinking he unloaded a bunch of crap on me. Since I haven't been around for a while, these guys kind of forgot that, you know what? I am the expert. I know everything. They just don't realize how much I know.
Hey, Dave, you started there a bit, bud. Do you want to go again? No? No, yeah. No, okay, no, that's fine. We can work with it. There is nothing worse than trying to look badass and then you stutter over your, like, one line, dude. Just wrap it up. And almost like a slap in the face to his claim that the show was staged, on his very first locker back, he finds a really old, entirely working computer with literal gold on the inside of it. I feel like he pissed off the producers and they wanted to make an example out of him. If you somehow think that this show is not staged and that every episode magically has an item that needs to be looked at by a specialized person, you are the target audience for this show. Daryl in his locker finds a red ramp that they identify as a motocross ramp. Pretty cool. They end up going to a motocross guy so that he can maybe evaluate how much the ramp is. No, you can't look it up on Google. You have to go physically to some guy to talk about how much he would pay for it. Duh. Now they get the guy to explain what a good ramp is and how they use it.
Curvature. If the shape is right, when you jump a motorcycle, you feel weightless in the air. You can't do any tricks if you don't have that weightless feeling.
Naturally, they show some guys doing some epic tricks on it just to show how good this ramp is.
Just perfect.
You needed to be weightless to do that. You needed to be entirely weightless, like you're in space. Then we get the final pricing on the ramp from this random guy. And stand back, guys, because he said he would sell it for $2,300. Yes, that's what I call profit. No, don't look at that. Don't look at that. But that's basically it for the first episode. I could go more in depth to it, but I don't want to bite off my goat, Andy King. But don't worry, guys. There is plenty to talk about in the next episode, like the fact that we're introduced to a new character. And I feel so bad because all the other people do on the show is bully him. Genuinely, I'm not even going to come up with like a joke nickname for him because I feel like I'd just be piling onto it. But the entire episode, they bully him. Also, he's German, so that's funny enough on its own.
Why did you drive all the way down here? You should have saved the drive.
Nice haircut, Butterbean.
You know you're not buying down here.
Okay, whatever, heffalump.
Oh man, this sucks.
Dude, don't let them talk to you like that. He like tries to trash talk but keep it in the bidding realm, but as soon as he opens his mouth, they just call him fat. And rather than like having a retort, because they're both pretty big guys, you just go, oh, come on, say something, dude.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute, where's your other half? Because I know you guys are the boobs and the brains.
Hey, she got good boobs. There's nothing wrong with that.
And she's definitely the brains.
Dude, please defend yourself, man. You think these guys are making objectifying comments about your wife, and instead of, you know, defending her or saying like, hey, don't do that, you go, you know what? You're right. My wife's boobs are pretty epic, literally. And then immediately after, Brandy and Jared chime in.
Oh, yeah. You just get mad because I state facts and you feel bullied.
I thought you said stay fat. You say stay fat?
Yeah.
It looks like I'm bullying, but I just stay fat.
Why are the producers letting this happen? Please, somebody stop them. And then the bidding starts. And I'm only just now realizing this, but when I was a kid, I thought it was super cool that Dan Dotson, the auctioneer guy, could talk so fast. But listening to it now, he just babbles like a baby and then says numbers when he needs to.
180. Now 90. Now 2. I don't want it.
17. 42. Like, just don't meet your heroes, guys, please. Now, after Daryl buys this locker, I unfortunately find out that this guy has the same name as me. So I feel like I need to cut off my parents for giving me the same name as him and change my name immediately. Then, believe it or not, just like in the last video, Brandon gets into an argument again. Now, to be entirely fair, Daryl starts it by getting the location of Renee's store wrong.
Who's the most hated guy at Kobe's, Renee or Hester?
I don't sell at Kobe's. I got a retail store, okay? If you're gonna talk about me, get the facts straight.
Go text
Get
your
the
brand.
So you can call this guy fat 100 times. You can objectify his wife to his face, and he won't bat an eye. But don't you dare get the location of his store wrong. That is crossing a line. But then Daryl does this.
Wham! You leave yourself so open.
How could you, man? I thought you and Dave had something special going on. You make me sick.
Crybag pussy.
You can even hear laughing in the back. The crew is laughing at him, dude. This is so unfair. I feel so bad for this guy, man. Jared and Brandy also won a unit on this episode for like $50, which is the cheapest I've ever seen anything go for. And in it, they find a bunch of My Little Pony toys and stuff. And immediately Brandy goes, "We have to bring this to a brony now." I guess 4chan was really popping when this episode came out. But before we talk to the brony, we have to look in Renee's locker. It's mostly trash, but he did find a big red thing and a triangle. And because of the triangle, he knows the big red thing is food related. How? I don't know. And in case you were wondering, you do get to see Renee's underwear this episode. Yes, yes, yes! To get the red thing evaluated, they go to some old-timey reenactment where this guy knows everything there is to know about it. This show is definitely not staged at all, guys. And we find out that the cabinet isn't really worth anything, but immediately after we find that out, Renee says this.
Not what I was hoping for.
That's really good.
But at least there's food to make up for it.
Stop, man. Don't play into it. That's what they want. Don't talk about yourself like that, man. And the final part of this episode is Jared and Brandy taking their collection to a guy named Johnny Jungle Guts. And I genuinely love this guy because he got on what was national television at the time and admitted that he was a brony and gave himself a stupid name. And what's really messed up is that the whole time he's explaining how much these toys are worth and like basically giving the backstory of all the ponies, Jared is laughing. Like something is funny. How about you show some respects to Mr. Jungle Guts? And they sign off the episode by having this guy sing a song about My Little Pony. And yes, he brought it up. Again, more of a reason to love this guy. He knew that song was going to be on national television and he decided to sing it. Nobody told him to do that.
I have some songs that I do about
Can you
My
sing a
Little
little bit
Pony.
of it? Please, just give us a taste.
Oh, really? Putting me on the spot. Okay. There are some days when a Pegasus doesn't have to fly.
It gets to a point where you have to respect him for it. Like, if I see any negative comments about Johnny Jungle Guts, I'm gonna find your address and do something drastic. And in case you were wondering, I did take the second episode from the same article, so sorry. This might be one of the last times I talk about Storage Wars, unless this video does like super amazingly well. I don't want to become the Storage Wars guy, but I will be talking about more old TV shows because I feel like it's a goldmine of content and it's fun to talk about. So look out for that. But yeah, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. If you enjoyed this video, don't comment telling me how much you loved it. Comment telling me how much you love my new glasses. When I went to go pick it up from the lady, she said I looked like a dork and laughed me out of the glasses shop. So that really hurt my feelings. That's it. I love you. Bye.